The basketball world woke up expecting just another day in the WNBA, but something felt different. Whispers moved through fan circles and newsrooms. A sudden press conference was scheduled, but no one was quite sure why. The names attached, Sophie Cunningham, Lexy Hull, and Indiana Fever's head coach Stephanie White, added to the mystery. These weren't just any league figures. They represented skill, leadership, and a deep connection to the game. Their joint appearance meant something big was coming, but no one knew what. As the media gathered, the room filled with tension. Cameras were pointed, pens were ready, and faces showed a mix of excitement and worry. Most people expected a team update or maybe a charity announcement. Instead, the air shifted as the three women entered. Their expressions were serious, their movements careful. It was clear this was no ordinary event. The focus of the conference soon became clear, but only in hints at first. The three women mentioned a name that had become central to the sport in record time: Caitlyn Clark. Her rookie season was supposed to be a celebration. She had broken attendance records, inspired young fans, and brought national attention to the league. Her skill and energy on the court made headlines every week. But as the conference continued, it became obvious there was more to her story. For weeks, fans had watched Clark play with her usual fire. She scored big, made impossible shots, and pushed her team forward. Yet, to those looking closely, small changes were visible. The athlete who once played every minute with a smile seemed more reserved. She moved a bit slower, especially after tough games. The cheers from the crowd were still there, but Clark's responses were quieter. The press conference began to fill in these gaps. The speakers described the demands of Clark's rookie year using simple but powerful words. The league's excitement about its new star had meant more games, more travel, and little time to rest. Clark's talent drew tough defenses. Teams doubled up on her, played rougher, and forced her to work harder for each point. Every night she faced not just the best players in the league, but new strategies designed only for her. The challenge was enormous, especially for someone so new to the professional level. But the physical challenge was only the first part of the story. The speakers shifted to the mental and emotional side, slowly revealing how Clark's rise to fame had another cost. She was now the face of women's basketball. Every move she made was watched, discussed, and debated. She was in commercials, interviews, and highlight reels. Fans loved her, but critics followed too. Every mistake became a headline. Every moment off the court was still under the spotlight. The conference room grew more silent as the women described the impact. Clark's daily schedule was packed. There was barely a moment for rest between games, flights, and media appearances. The pressure to always perform was constant. Even when she smiled for the camera, she carried the weight of expectations from her team, her city, and fans across the country. The announcement took an even more serious tone when the discussion turned to Clark's health. The speakers shared that Clark had been playing through pain for several weeks, though they respected her privacy and did not explain the full details. The physical toll of playing against older, stronger defenders every night added up. She had pushed through injuries, determined not to let down her team or the league. But the cost was becoming too high. Her well-being was at risk, and the people around her started to worry. The most striking moment came when the three women stood together, not as rivals, but as supporters. Sophie Cunningham and Lexy Hull had played against Clark, and Stephanie White had coached her through her rookie season. Despite their different backgrounds, they agreed on one thing: the situation had become too serious to ignore. By standing side by side, they showed that some issues mattered more than winning or losing. The conference did not just focus on Clark's struggles. It also raised questions about the league itself. The WNBA had grown quickly, thanks to stars like Clark, but its systems hadn't kept pace. Players still traveled on commercial flights, sometimes arriving at games tired and sore. There was little time between games for recovery. The media attention was bigger than ever, but so were the demands on players' bodies and minds. The league had gained so much, but it needed to provide more support in return. The speakers called attention to these issues without blaming anyone directly. They asked for better schedules, more player support, and a greater focus on health and wellness. The message was clear. The league's future depended on treating its stars with care, not just celebrating them when they win. As the press conference drew to a close, the real news was finally shared. After many quiet talks between coaches, doctors, and Clark herself, a decision was made. Caitlyn Clark's playing schedule would change for the rest of the season. She would play fewer minutes, have more time to recover, and skip some games entirely if needed. The choice was difficult. Clark wanted to be on the court, but everyone agreed this was the only way to protect her future. The decision was supported by everyone on stage, including Clark's competitors. They understood what was at stake. Clark was not just another player. She was a symbol of hope for the league and its fans. Protecting her was about more than one season. It was about the future of the sport. By taking this step, the league was sending a message. The health of its players came first, even when it was hard. Leaving the press conference, reporters and fans realized they had witnessed a turning point. This was more than a story about a single athlete. It was a call for change in women's sports. The courage shown by Cunningham, Hull, and White would not be forgotten. They had stood up for a teammate, a competitor, and a friend. They had shown the world that real leadership means caring for others, even when it isn't easy. For Caitlyn Clark, the road ahead would be different. She would have to rest, recover, and wait before returning to her best form. Her journey would be watched closely, but now with more understanding and respect. The hope was that she would return stronger, ready to inspire a new generation of players. The press conference ended, but the discussion had only begun. Fans, players, and coaches started to talk about what needed to change. The league's leaders faced new pressure to improve conditions for all athletes. The story of Caitlyn Clark's first season would be remembered for its highs and lows, but also for the moment when the sport decided to put people above everything else. In the end, the announcement was not just about Clark. It was about the future of women's basketball. A future where stars are celebrated, but also protected, and where the league grows with care, not just speed. The day had started with mystery and suspense, but it ended with a call to action and a promise for something better.